Welcome to this deep dive.
It's good to be exploring this together.
Today we're looking at something really quite fundamental, I think. How our engagement with books, with reading, can become this, well, this powerful engine for personal growth.
More than just entertainment or information.
Exactly. We want to explore how reading, when it's done with real intention, can act almost like a mirror, showing us our inner landscape.
And maybe also a catalyst, something that sparks genuine change inside.
Yes, a catalyst. And we know many people listening want to understand things deeply, thoroughly, but maybe without feeling overwhelmed by it all.
That feeling of drowning in information, yeah.
So our aim today is really to offer some clear insights, maybe some actionable ways to approach this that hopefully resonate.
It's quite remarkable, isn't it, how this everyday thing, reading, can shift into something quite profound just by changing our approach.
It really is.
Yeah.
So let's start with this idea you mentioned. The book is a kind of metaphysical mirror. What does that mean exactly?
Well, think about it. It's not just the story or the facts on the page. It's about what those words reflect back to us, about ourselves.
Like when a character's struggle suddenly clicks with something you're going through, and you see your own situation differently.
Precisely. That's a perfect example. That's a glimpse of this mirroring. The text hasn't changed, but it's illuminating something within you.
Okay.
There's this idea, this teaching, that our minds reflect the world like a mirror.
Right.
So if you think of a book as part of that world, when we read with real focus, real presence, it's almost like the book reflects our own inner state back.
Our thoughts or feelings?
Yeah, our current preoccupations, our emotions, maybe even potential we haven't quite tapped into yet. It all shapes how we connect with what we're reading.
That makes sense. It explains why rereading a book years later can feel like reading a whole new book.
Exactly. The words are the same, but you're different. Your inner landscape has shifted, so the reflection changes.
It reminds me of, stories of seekers, like Siddhartha Gautama himself, spending time with texts, questioning, contemplating.
The learning wasn't just about gathering facts.
No, it was about using those ideas to understand himself, that journey inward.
That's the heart of it. True learning, real growth, it transcends just knowing stuff. It's that self-discovery that happens when we engage.
And the way we engage is crucial then.
Absolutely paramount. We can, just tear through a book, desperate to finish it.
Guilty of that sometimes. Just consuming the words like fast food, as you might say. Get it done.
We all do it. It's easy in our fast-paced world, but there is another way, a mindful way.
Which contrasts with that fast food approach. It's about quality, not just quantity.
It's about presence, depth. Being fully there with the words. Imagine, say, a monk reading slowly, absorbing each phrase,
Okay.
versus someone maybe juggling emails while trying to read a novel. The richness of the experience, the potential for connection, it's worlds apart.
It feels different, even just thinking about it. You mentioned connection. It's almost like books carry a certain, vibration and energy.
Perhaps. Or perhaps it's that when we approach them with intention, with openness, we become attuned, we resonate with the ideas, the author's consciousness, in a different way. That feeling when a line seems written just for you, in that specific moment.
Yeah, I've had that.
That might be that resonance, that connection happening because you were truly present and open to it.
So how do we foster that, this mindful engagement? It sounds like it needs practice. It's not our default mode usually.
It often isn't, but you can start simply, maybe just 10 minutes a day.
10 minutes, okay.
Find a quiet spot, fewer distractions, and really try to savor it. Maybe just a paragraph or even a sentence at a time. Pause. Let it sink in.
It's not about the page count in those 10 minutes.
Not at all. It's about the quality of attention, the depth of the listening.
And this idea that if you do this consistently, the line between the writer's thoughts and your own insights starts to blur.
Yeah.
That's quite something.
Isn't it? It suggests that the wisdom we uncover isn't entirely external. It's more like a recognition.
A recognition of something already there.
Yeah.
Inside us.
Exactly. Waiting to be brought to light. The book becomes the catalyst, the mirror, but the potential insight was perhaps dormant within.
So reading becomes less passive.
Yeah.
More like an active co-creation.
Yes. A partnership, a collaboration with the author, maybe even with the universe, you could say, to bring forth understanding.
Wow. That really shifts the perspective.
Yeah.
So picking up a book now, the question isn't just, what's this about? But
Maybe. What kind of mirror do I want to hold up to my soul today?
that's a powerful reframe. So that naturally leads us into, well, the practical side.
Mm.
How does this mindful reading become a truly transformative practice?
Moving from the concept to the how-to, yes.
We talked about the mirror. Now, how does it become the catalyst? How do we deepen that understanding?
Well, building on the idea of active engagement, there's this principle of, let's call it critical inquiry. Not just accepting, but really interrogating the ideas.
Testing them.
Testing them against your own experience, your own understanding of how things are. This connects to the Buddhist concept of Dhamma, seeing things as they truly are, and the encouragement to investigate, not just believe blindly.
So it's not enough just to understand intellectually.
Intellectual knowledge is a starting point, absolutely. But it's often not enough for real transformation. Think of Ananda, the Buddha's disciple. Amazing memory, knew all the teachings.
Right.
But enlightenment, deep realization, only came later through profound meditation on the meaning of those teachings, not just the recall.
So the knowing has to sink deeper, become embodied wisdom.
Precisely, and we see this in modern examples too, don't we? People who didn't just read widely, but read deeply.
Like Mahatma Gandhi, taking texts like the Bhagavad Gita and really living the principles.
Exactly, or even someone like Steve Jobs, apparently deeply influenced by a calligraphy course he took. It wasn't the volume of reading, but the depth of engagement with that one thing that sparked something innovative later.
Depth over breadth sometimes.
Often. So this brings us to maybe a simple practice. We mentioned 10 minutes.
The 10-minute mindful reading practice. Let's break it down.
Okay, first, choose wisely. Pick something that actually resonates, that pulls you in, emotionally or intellectually.
Makes sense. Don't force it.
Second, create that sacred space. Find your quiet corner. Minimize the dings and buzzes.
Easier said than done sometimes, but crucial.
Third, set an intention. Just a simple mental note. What do I hope to gain from this session? Clarity? Inspiration? Maybe just peace?
I like that. Setting the stage internally.
Fourth, read slowly, deliberately. Focus maybe on one paragraph, one sentence. Pause. Reflect. How does this relate to my life? What feelings come up?
So really interacting with it.
Yes. And finally, fifth, maybe afterwards journal a little. Jot down any thoughts, feelings, insights that arose. Doesn't have to be long.
That sounds manageable, but powerful. It turns reading into a kind of meditation.
It really does. It quiets the external noise, allowing you to listen more closely to your inner self engaging with the text.
And this connects to mindfulness, to sati, being fully present.
Exactly that. Being fully present with the reading experience allows you to extract much deeper meaning that might be missed in a hurried reading. A single sentence, held in awareness, can unfold layers of insight.
It's amazing how much can be packed into a few words when you really pay attention.
And this kind of focused attention, this deep absorption in diverse ideas, it can also, interestingly, foster creativity.
How so?
Creativity often comes from connecting seemingly unrelated things. When you mindfully absorb ideas from various sources, you're building a richer inner web of concepts. New connections spark more easily. It reflects that Buddhist idea of interconnectedness, creativity as an expression of seeing those links.
Ah, I see. So it's not just about understanding the book, but about what the book helps you create within yourself.
Precisely. It circles back to that distinction. This practice helps cultivate wisdom, what you become, rather than just accumulating knowledge, what you get.
That's a profound difference. So the invitation for everyone listening is, what book calls to you for this kind of deeper dive? What treasures might be waiting?
And remembering that it doesn't require huge chunks of time, which brings us to the power of small steps, the alchemy of consistency.
Yes, this hidden power of 10 minutes, as we might call it. How can such a small daily act lead to significant change?
Well, think about the principle of cause and effect. In Buddhist thought, karma. Small actions, small intentions, plant seeds.
Seeds that grow into larger outcomes over time.
Exactly. It's like dropping a tiny pebble into a still pond.
The ripples spread out, right? Much wider than the pebble itself.
Just so. Those 10 minutes of focused reading are like that pebble. The ripples, the insights, the shifts in perspective spread through your awareness, your life, in ways you might not immediately connect back to that small act.
There's that story, isn't there? About the impatient young monk asked to fill a jar, maybe drop by drop or stone by stone.
Yes, various versions exist. The point is the cumulative effect. Each small, mindful action repeated consistently leads to transformation. Perhaps a calmer mind, deeper understanding. It fills the jar eventually.
So consistent mindful reading isn't just isolated sessions. It builds up.
It accumulates into a reservoir of insight and understanding. And this gradually leads to subtle, often unconscious, shifts in how you perceive things, how you respond, how you behave.
It's fascinating how this ancient wisdom resonates with modern ideas, too, like James Clear's aggregation of marginal gains.
Right. That idea that tiny improvements, just 1% better each day, compound dramatically over time. A 1% daily improvement leading to being, 37 times better in a year?
Something like that. The math is startling, but the Buddhist perspective adds another layer, doesn't it? It's not just about the end result, the 37th improvement.
It's very much about the process. The focus isn't solely on a future destination, like enlightenment conceived as a final goal to be reached. It's also about the quality of the journey. Enlightenment as a continuous state of being, perhaps.
And mindful reading as savoring the journey with the book, moment by moment.
Exactly. Appreciating the unfolding, the insights as they come, not just rushing to the finish line or expecting a sudden grand revelation, though those can happen too.
So how might these ripples, these marginal gains from mindful reading, show up in different areas of life?
Well, take emotional resilience. We often suffer dukkha, as it's called, because of attachment or aversion, things we cling to, things we push away.
Okay.
Reading mindfully about, say, mindfulness itself, or even Stoic philosophy, can help us see those patterns in ourselves, recognize the roots of our reaction.
Like Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. Reading something like that deeply, it can really shift your perspective on hardship and purpose.
Profoundly. It offers a mirror to our own capacity for meaning-making, even in suffering. That's resilience building.
What about creativity and innovation? We touched on that.
Yes, exposing yourself mindfully to diverse perspectives just naturally sparks new connections. Think again of Steve Jobs and calligraphy and seemingly unrelated field sparking design innovation. Reading broadly and deeply fuels that interconnected thinking.
And relationships. How can reading help there?
Books are windows into human nature, aren't they? Novels, biographies, psychology. Reading mindfully about others' experiences, motivations, flaws. It can seriously expand our empathy, our compassion.
Connecting to meta, loving kindness, understanding others better helps us relate with more kindness.
Absolutely. It can make us better listeners, more understanding communicators, because we've spent time inhabiting other viewpoints through reading.
So it's clear this isn't just passive consumption, which leads nicely to this other powerful idea, reading as an act of creation itself.
Yes, this is a fascinating shift. Not just receiving, but actively co-creating meaning.
How does that tie in?
It connects perhaps to the concept of sunyata, often translated as emptiness. The idea that reality isn't fixed, but is shaped by our perceptions, our intentions.
Okay, so the meaning of the text isn't just sitting there fixed on the page.
Not entirely. Think of a book like a musical score. The notes are written down, yes.
But the music, the melody, the feeling, that only emerges when it's played, interpreted.
Exactly. The reader, the mindful reader, is like the conductor or the musician. We engage with the notes, the words, and through our focus, our reflection, our inner state, we bring the meaning to life. We co-create the experience.
So we don't need to be some kind of genius to have breakthroughs while reading.
Not at all. The power lies in the dynamic, interactive process. When you read mindfully, asking questions, connecting it to your life, you are actively generating insights. The book provides the stimulus, but the synthesis happens within you.
History is full of thinkers who did this.
Yeah.
Right. Synthesized ideas from their reading to create something new.
Einstein, Curie, Mandela, they weren't just sponges, they were weavers, integrating diverse threads of knowledge from their reading into new tapestries of understanding and action.
So a practical exercise here could be.
Maybe after reading a section that resonates, you actually close the book for a moment.
Okay.
And ask yourself, what does this really mean to me right now? How could I potentially apply this, even in a small way?
And then jot down those first thoughts that come up.
Precisely. That act of articulation makes the co-creation tangible. It bridges the reading and your lived reality.
This all points towards unlocking something within us, unlocking hidden potential.
That's the ultimate promise, perhaps. Mindful reading as a way to awaken the potential that resides within each of us. Some traditions call it Buddha nature, the inherent capacity for wisdom, compassion, enlightenment.
And this isn't some mystical, unattainable thing.
Not necessarily. The idea is that this potential is always there, but conditions need to be right for it to awaken. Mindful reading, consistently practiced, can be one of those supportive conditions.
Like tending a garden. The seeds are there, but they need water, sun, attention.
A beautiful analogy. And again, it comes back to consistency, presence, like that river carving a canyon, gentle, persistent action over time creates profound change.
So remembering the examples, trusting the process.
Yes. And understanding that this awakening is accessible, that dedicated 10 minutes a day. It truly can be enough to start strengthening those neural pathways, planting those seeds of wisdom. It's the ripple effect, neurologically and perhaps even karmically.
Building that bridge between just knowing things knowledge and truly understanding and living them wisdom.
Exactly. It's about facilitating that internal connection, maybe even tapping into the subconscious where deeper insights reside. Mindful reading helps quiet the surface chatter so we can hear those deeper currents.
And the focus required. That itself is a form of transformation, isn't it? The art of attention.
Absolutely. In a world full of distractions, cultivating the ability to focus deeply on one thing, like a passage in a book, is a skill. It can lead to states of flow, deep engagement, where time seems to disappear.
How can we cultivate that attention while reading?
Eliminate the obvious distractions, as we said. Anchor your awareness, maybe on the physical sensation of the book, or your breath when your mind wanders. Fully engage your senses with the reading, and perhaps end with a moment of gratitude for the opportunity, the insights.
It sounds like this path, this practice of mindful reading, could even be seen as a path towards liberation.
In a sense, yes. Liberation, nirvana, in this context, means freedom. Freedom from suffering, from ignorance, from the grip of unhelpful attachments and aversions.
And how does mindful reading contribute to that?
It embodies key principles: awareness being present with what is, understanding impermanence, seeing how ideas and feelings arise and pass, aligning actions like reading with intention, with deeper values. It helps us see the workings of our own mind more clearly.
So each mindful reading session is a small act of cultivating that clarity and freedom.
It can be. And the consistent effort, even in small ways, reshapes our inner landscape, moving us towards greater understanding and peace.
So really, as we draw this deep dive to a close, it feels like there's a choice presented.
Always a choice. The path of distraction or the path of focused intention.
Choosing to harness this simple, accessible power of mindful reading to unlock that potential within.
Because ultimately, the greatest stories aren't just the ones we read, they're the ones we live, the ones we write with our lives.
And mindful reading can help us choose the words, find the plot, understand the characters, including ourselves.
The pen is truly in our hand.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. It's been quite an exploration into mindful reading and its connection to growth.
Thank you. It's a rich topic.
And the core message, I think, is clear. Even small, consistent acts of mindful reading, just 10 minutes perhaps, can be this incredibly powerful catalyst.
For self-discovery, for cultivating wisdom, for real transformation, it aligns ancient insights with things we're understanding even now about how our minds work.
So maybe the final thought to leave everyone with is, what new landscapes of understanding, what hidden potential might just unfold for you?
Simply by dedicating those few mindful moments to a book each day. What awaits in those pages and within yourself?
We hope you'll consider taking that first step.
Yeah.
Until next time.